All right, let's get right into it. The European Union has just dropped the AI Act, which is basically the world's first major rulebook for artificial intelligence. It is huge, it's complicated, and believe me, it's already making waves everywhere. But the whole thing really hinges on one crucial idea: not all AI is the same. So today, we're going to decode the most important piece of that puzzle. What exactly makes an AI system high risk?
I mean, just think about that for a second. Is the AI scanning your job application just a helpful bit of software, or does it have the power to completely change your life's path? This is precisely the kind of question the EU AI Act is forcing us all to confront. And the answer? Well, it has massive consequences for how this tech gets built and used.
So, what does the EU even mean by high risk? Well, the Act isn't trying to police every single line of code out there, not at all. It's laser-focused on AI systems that could cause a significant risk of harm to our health, our safety, or our fundamental rights. And that's the key idea we're going to unpack.
You know, this really gets to the heart of the balancing act they're trying to pull off here. The goal isn't to strangle innovation with a bunch of red tape. It's about building an environment of trust, one where technology can boom, but where there are also some serious guardrails to stop the worst from happening.
Okay, so how does an AI system actually get slapped with this high-risk label? It's not just some random decision. The Act lays out a really clear, logical process. There are basically 3 distinct roads that can lead you there.
This breakdown makes it super simple. The first path is pretty obvious. If an AI is a safety feature in something that's already regulated, like the automatic braking in your car, then yeah, it's high risk. The second path is when the AI is the actual product, like some fancy medical software. But the third path, and this is the big one, is if the AI system shows up on a special list called Annex III.
And this Annex III list, this is where it gets really personal. We're talking about the AI systems that touch the most sensitive areas of our lives. The AI that's deciding if you get a mortgage, the one filtering your resume for a job, scoring your kids' exams, or being used by police or at border crossings. These are all areas where one biased or flat-out wrong decision can have absolutely life-altering consequences.
But, and this is super important, it's not quite that simple. Just because an AI is being used in one of those high-stakes areas doesn't mean it's automatically high risk. The law actually builds in 4 really important exceptions for systems that don't pose a real threat.
The first exception is for AI that's just doing a narrow procedural task. The best example? A spam filter. Its job is incredibly specific. Just sort through emails. Sure, it's annoying if it makes a mistake, but it's probably not going to violate your fundamental rights. It's a simple administrative job.
Second is the AI just improving something a human has already done. A grammar checker is the perfect example here. You write the report, and the AI just comes along and suggests a few tweaks. It's an add-on to what you did, not a replacement for your judgment.
The third exception is all about systems that are just looking backward, not forward. So, imagine an AI sifting through a company's hiring data from the past 5 years to spot trends. As long as it doesn't try to influence or score any of the current applicants, it's just detecting patterns. It's not making calls about people's futures.
And finally, we have what they call preparatory tasks. So an AI might churn through thousands of legal documents and give a lawyer a nice, neat summary. It's doing all the grunt work, but the critical thinking, the final assessment, that's still left entirely up to the human expert.
But, and I cannot stress this enough, there is one giant, non-negotiable rule that trumps all of these exceptions. If an AI system performs profiling, meaning it evaluates or predicts personal things about you, like your job performance, your health, or your behavior, it is always high risk. Full stop. No exceptions.
All right, so we've got the rules, we've got the lists, we've got the exceptions, but what does all of this actually mean in the real world? Let's break down how this is going to affect everybody.
Okay, for the people making the AI, it means more homework. They have to do a ton of documentation and testing to prove their stuff is safe and fair. For businesses using these tools, you can't just plug and play anymore. You're now on the hook for making sure they work right. And for you, for me, for all of us, it means we're getting new, powerful protections against automated decisions that could really mess up our lives. This brings us to the last, and honestly, maybe the most revolutionary part of this whole thing: who has to prove the AI is safe? And this is a huge deal. Think about how things used to work. Regulators were always playing catch-up, right? They had to prove a technology was dangerous after it was already out in the world causing problems. The AI Act completely flips that on its head. Now, the burden of proof is on the developers. They have to prove their high-risk AI is safe before it ever gets near us. It's a massive shift from being reactive to being proactive.
And get this, even if a company claims one of those 4 exceptions, they can't just do it quietly. They have to write down exactly why they think their system isn't high risk and register that justification in a public EU database. It creates a transparent paper trail so they're held accountable for their claims.
So there it is. The EU has drawn its line in the sand. By defining and getting really strict about high-risk AI, it's setting a new standard for the whole world. But it leaves us with the billion-dollar question. Is this new framework going to be a fortress that actually protects us from harm? Or is it going to be a cage that traps the very innovation it's supposed to be governing? The answer to that is going to shape the future of tech for everyone.